Welcome back to Ferocious Education. As I said, today I'm going to be talking once more about Clover Health. I'm going to go through everything that I could find for this video relating towards news, previous historical law cases, as well as institutional interest, short interest, and technical analysis, and hopefully you can benefit from this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Clover Health. I've talked about this one multiple times below. My previous video is in the description below. Nonetheless, let's start taking a bit of views on Clover Health. First off is the short float, which keeps increasing. Last time I made a video around this one, it was around 34%. Currently, it's around 3609, which might not sound like a lot, but it is in fact a lot when you're looking into a shares float of around $112 million, which means somewhere around $400 million betting against this company. Now, of course, if a market cap of around 3.7 billion might not sound a lot, but $400 million being bet against the company, that is actually a lot of worth than some companies that are out there. $400 million is a lot. But nonetheless, that's just to give you a bit of perspective. Now, on the EPS for the next 5 years, you're looking at 32%, which is a good increase. However, the price over book and the price over sales might a little bit be off, or perhaps the price over book is a little bit overvalued in the SP 500, but the price over sales is 3 or 4 times multiple in the SP 500. But a big reason for this is that the reason it's 12 months trailing and not a quarterly average for the price over sales, so you might still need to see a little bit of improvement there before you actually see it reflect on the price over sales. Now, another thing I do want to cover today is, for instance, the current assets that they have in the total assets. In terms of the total assets, you're looking around 870 million. Now, that's significantly a lot from December 31st, 2020. A big part of this one includes the amount of cash that they do have in the short-term investments thanks to the SPAC merger. And when we're looking into, let's say, something like revenues, the total revenues for Q1 2021 is sitting at $200.3 million compared to Q1 2020 of $165.5 million. Now, the net loss, though, is almost double. You're sitting at $48.4 million net loss in comparison to $28.2 million net loss. Adjusted EBITDA is around 3 times, or actually more than 3 times worse than it was in Q1 2020. Let's see what they actually talked about this one here and what they justified it on. And they're talking here that the GAAP net loss was 48.4 million compared to 28.2 million, and this was a result of the impact by the application of updated guidance from the SEC related to accounting for public and private placement warrants assumed by the company in connection with the merger. Applying the updated guidance, we recognized a gain of $85.5 million in the first quarter related to the change in fair value of foreign liability. So that is the explanation towards that massive loss as well. Now, also, some of the adjusted EBITDA loss includes, which excludes the net impacts of COVID-19 pandemic and any changes to our estimate of prior period revenues. Medical costs was around $52.1 million. Now, moving on from there to some other things, for instance, reviews. So those are important, but again, just keep in mind that a lot of people that go on and give reviews are usually motivated by their anger towards the company. So main 2 things, well, actually there's around 4 reviews here. This person might have actually bought at the peak and currently is a little bit upset. But this person here, Yakov, is talking about how the Medicare Advantage plan is actually great for Clover Health. However, when it comes to real life, they do not respect their own plan. Customer service representatives are mostly absolutely unprofessional, and every time you ask them a question, they put you on a long hold. We ask a supervisor, he or she is always unavailable. Now, Lizette L., this is back in January, they say, I work for a physician's office for the billing department. I spent an hour and a half waiting for a representative to pick up the phone. This is not the first time. This insurance company should take in consideration that we have other things to do other than waiting on the phone for an hour to be assisted. Perhaps they need to hire more personnel. Now, that's just some things that might be a little bit too critical just to keep in mind, but I'll give them a bit of a grain of salt because anyone can write this one and they don't have really any backing towards that. Now, back in 2018, This here, on January 3rd, 2018 by CNBC, the title says, Clover Health got $425 million to disrupt health insurance, but so far, it's upset customers and missed its numbers. So that's just kind of giving you an insight to their history to kind of get an idea on what the future will hold. Clover Health delayed paying bills for lab tests for its senior citizen members as it tried to get leverage over labs so it could collect data. Despite its $1.2 billion valuation, Clover is losing money on its average customers. At the end of the day, most established plans already use big data and do predictive analysis, PwC says. And they also missed some of the numbers previously when you're looking into kind of the rounds, the dates, etc. But that's just kind of keep in mind. If you would like to read this article, just go ahead and type the title into CNBC. It's a very interesting article. I'm not going to go through the details because it is a little bit lengthy in that sense. Now, another thing here, you're looking into Better Business Bureau complaints, and it looks like they're actually a bit active at replying back and trying to justify all that stuff in terms of complaints. So I'm not really mad at it. It's going to be fine for that sense that they are actually active in the Better Business Bureau complaint section. Another thing here is the CEO. I went on to this website. It's called pacermonitor.com, and you're able to kind of take a look into a little bit anyone you want, whether a company or a person, on all active or historical cases that were up against them. And the first thing I did was actually look up Vivek Garpali, which is the CEO. You get to see that there is multiple cases. Unfortunately, I don't have a subscription on here for $60 a month or something to actually go ahead and take a look at each of these cases, but there is some cases that were actually put up against him, or even including back in August 21st, 2017, 2014, 2013, and all the way to 2021. For instance, this one here, this one was on 2017, August 21st. This was terminated on April 13th, 2021, and it was personal property, other frauds, diversity fraud. And so I can't see any much about this one, so I can only read the allegations, and of course the law doesn't work that way. But in a sense, if you have access to this one, let us know below. What do you think about these stuff here? Now, another thing I did want to show up is Clover Health search. So I did a bit of Clover Health search, and it looks like a lot of these cases end up getting dismissed. For instance here, civil case terminated on April 26, 2021. This one here was consolidated with another case. And this one here also, it's satisfied the Court of Appeal, so it's going to be appealed after it's been motion to dismissed. So it is interesting, but it looks like a lot of them get dismissed at the end, and well, these companies and the CEO is very active with law cases. Now that might actually be also the case if you were to look at any other company, really. For instance, for Vivek Garpali, he has 25 cases under bankruptcy, 138 under civil, 6 under criminal, and 25 under appellate. Now, if you were to go to Clover Health, you're able to see that they do have 3,307 under bankruptcy. Civil is around 107,328. Criminal 62, and appellate is around 7,020. Now, it would take a lawyer or a paralegal to go ahead and try to basically brush through this here. The sheer amount of cases here are insane, around almost 120,000. So I wasn't able to go ahead and brush to get to basically some of the due diligence from there because I don't have access. But it's definitely interesting to keep an eye on this one and try to look into your due diligence relating towards law cases that are actually valid and that Clover Health has lost. Now let's move on towards technical analysis, but before then, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click that like button down below, and the subscribe button is on the bottom right corner. Please turn notifications on as it helps my channel a lot, and let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint of view, what we actually get to see here is that the price point is above all moving averages. First time in a while, actually, which is a very bullish thing where you can see last time it's done so, it went to around 11.77 cents. Now, the 10 SMA is currently below the 30 EMA, which is the green line below the red line, and it's currently in almost achieving an inflection point sometime soon, which is definitely a bullish thing. However, today we received a red ticker after a green bullish kicker, and this might be actually a sign of a warning similar to what you see around here that might actually slide downwards a little bit afterwards this move. Now, the current ADX is at 20.006. So 20 or between 20 and 25 suggests the potential of a trend forming. Now the William percent R is sitting in neutral, neither overbought or oversold, and the MACD is actually increasing. The bullish reversal took on effect on 28th of May, and it's increasing in the histogram level, which supports a bullish move. Momentum currently is positive at 212, which does support that bullish reversal. Now the current stochastic fast and stochastic slow both are actually moving on towards the bullish side and increasing, which does show very strong momentum. Now the Bollinger Bands, which is a momentum band, is between the 894 on the top and 632 in the bottom. So you can start expecting the stock to trade within those band itself. Now, the last time the stock has been above this band, it actually dropped not long afterwards. Now you can expect for it to trade a little bit above the Bollinger Bands, but keep in mind that the Bollinger Bands do expand and contract, and in result they do, the stocks itself does trade within these Bollinger Bands. Now from a Fibonacci retracements, it's important to recognize them because algorithms use them. And on the Fibonacci retracements you're seeing here at the 630 level, at the bottom, 631 at the bottom, the Fibonacci retracement shows you support at 889 that is being tested, and the current resistance level is 1049, 1177, 1306, 1490, and 1723. Now, from a price line action, what you're seeing a significant support level sitting, a very strong one at 896. Below there, 828. Below there, you're looking into the 735, and then following that, the 691 and down to the 651 and 631. The current resistance level, a very strong resistance, exists at the 941. Above there, you're looking at 1003. Above there, you're looking at 1085. Moving on to around 1146, 1218, and then upwards to 1323. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? And my answer is very clear towards this one. I do believe in them. However, there is some kind of key parts that kind of gives me a little bit of hesitation towards Clover Health. One, their history itself. They had a bit bad history at times where they didn't really meet some numbers. Their numbers and estimations is a little bit too optimistic for a company with not the best history. However, they do have enough cash. They do have their market share can easily be expanded across the United States, and they can expand to reach that. Now, it is very interesting to see this bullish reversal, and I think this is part of AMC and GME moving a little bit forward. This heavily shorter stock is trying to get its chance. However, these kind of moves with AMC and GME, they're very much focused almost into one direction. So you wouldn't find all these stocks moving in at the same time, or at least they will find a lot of resistance. Because guess what? Everyone here are buying because someone on Twitter is saying buy, it's going to go to the moon. And then they buy it. And then everyone who bought around here, who felt like idiots around here, and excuse my language, now are feeling, okay, you know what? I'm just going to basically break even and sell. And so you meet these resistance level, and that's what's happening. Now, if there was no resistance level, no one wanted to sell, this would skyrocket. Now, the shorting part is significant, but not as significant as you would think, where it does move that action where it breaks any kind of move itself. There's also sellers in the game. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.